Hi guys, I'm back. It's been so long. I am so embarrassed, right? Because I remember saying that this will be a consistent thing, and consistency is key on YouTube, but life happens. It's a new decade, and 2020 has been a very good year for me, but very busy as well. So hopefully you guys understand and stick around, because this time round I'll be consistent. Right. So today, as the title suggests, we are getting a bit controversial and a bit deep, right? Because my first video was very good. I really liked it, but my second one, my personality didn't quite shine, right? And I wouldn't be me if I don't get a bit controversial. So, guys, let's do this. So today we are talking about a topic that is very, very important, especially for ladies, right? Today, ladies, I'm talking to you, man. So it's because I'm a lady and, I can only talk about what I know and what I've experienced, right? So I'll mostly, dwell this conversation on my own experiences and what I've observed, yeah? So, as the title suggests, it is very, very paramount that when a woman is choosing a mate, a spouse, a life partner, a marriage partner, the person that you should be choosing, the person that you should be going for is one that is a sucker for you. The one that men call a simp, p-whipped, if you know what I mean, pussy whipped, and all that. Because I believe that if a man doesn't revere you, if he does not see you as a queen, if he does not value you to a high stature, then that is a risk that you shouldn't be willing to take. So, and I'll be looking down because I've jotted down some notes. So that's what I'm doing. When you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, so let's get right into it. The first point is, why it is very, very important the kind of spouse you choose. Not only for you, but for future generations, right? You see, the problem is that when we are choosing mates, we choose them based on some very shallow things, right? For us women, it's about, a man's looks, money, yeah, and swag. Some of us just, go for that masculine energy, big dick energy, as we call it. And that lands us in very, very deep trouble, right? Because one thing I believe is that if a man makes you feel butterflies in your stomach, then he's not the right man for you. Like, if you're feeling jittery, butterflies in your stomach, every time you meet him, your heart skips a beat or two, then I think that is a very, very risky relationship to be in. Because what happens is that when you value a man more than he values you, it's a recipe for disaster. Because as we are told, and I've experienced this myself, right? Men are the chasers. It is in their nature to chase, to just give adoration to women, right? To provide and to make you happy and all this. I've had men tell me that most of the things they do, they do it because of women. And like us, as we do things for other women as well. You'll dress up for your girls to compete with other women and all this, right? But men, I've had guys tell me, how true this is, I don't know. Guys, you can tell me down in the comments below. But I've had guys tell me that they even work and, clean up, freshen up, all for women, yeah? So it is in a man's nature to try and please a woman, right? But into the today's woman, the woman in the 21st century is taking up the masculine role. I think it's because of, feminism and all this, yeah? And being a pick-me, you want to be picked. So you're taking up the masculine energy where you're resorting to chasing, right? It might not be very clear that you're doing this, but even when you feel an off energy in your whole interaction with a guy, and you seem to just let it be. You know, you don't want to express yourself. Because myself, I can talk about my situation. There's this guy, you know, I was dating, and I remember him saying something so off. We were talking about women's empowerment or whatever, and one thing he said in a kind of a disgusted kind of tone was like, you know, there are women who choose Beyonce as their role model as opposed to someone like Chimamanda Ngozi. And you know, that hit a nerve then, because I was thinking, what's wrong with Beyonce? You look at someone like Beyonce, she's you know, she's a popular, she's good at what she does when it comes to performance and all that. You know, she's perfected her craft, right? She's an entrepreneur, right? She's a married woman, at least she's married, and so far her marriage is going good. She has children and all this. So what is so wrong about aspiring to be like her? You know, not necessarily be a pop artist or whatever, but aspire to be as successful as her, you know? And as much as I thought all this, you know, that pick me just hit me, you know, the pick me syndrome that we all have, that is within us as women. So, and I ended up not saying anything because I don't want him to view me as that woman who does not agree with, you know, Chimamanda is a better role model as opposed to Beyonce. You get? And I didn't say anything about it. Yeah? And many other things, you know. Another guy, we were debating. It was more or less a debate, and it was a friendly argument, so to speak, but I guess his ego took the best of him and he started getting angry. So I'm just there debating with him, and I realized that he's getting angry, but to please him I have to tone down a notch. I ended up agreeing with whatever he was saying, because, you know, I didn't want to be, you know, the woman that does not allow a man, that is argumentative and all this and all that, you know, because the voice is still in your head, you know. No, do this to please a man. Don't be so overbearing, you know. Just for you to be a woman, you have to be this, you have to be that, you have to be the other. And that ends up, that will never work, because when the two of you have a long-term relationship, say me and this guy ended up getting married, you know, of course he wouldn't have changed because I haven't even addressed the issue, right? And after years of feeling that my voice is not heard and all that, resentment is what would have followed, you know. And when all that happens, then it stops being love anymore. And I mean, you find yourself in a very sad marriage, right? And that is not right. I don't believe that is right. Yeah. On to my second point, guys. Again, we go back to the Bible. Myself, I'm a Christian. I'm a practicing Christian, though not very staunch. But, you know, I'm getting better as 2020 goes by, right? And one thing the Bible says is that a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and is favored by the Lord, you know? So even God himself tells us that we are the good thing, you know? Women are the good thing, because when a man finds a good wife, he finds a good thing, right? So women, we should behave like we're the good thing. We're the prize. We keep forgetting we're the prize. Yeah. So you should not be chasing a man up and down and you're the prize. You will never see a Mercedes Benz, you know, chasing after the customer, right? No, things that are of value are things that are of value do not need the theatrics and what have you. You just stay there in your energy, in your feminine energy, be your best self, and let them chase, you know. Let your king find you. You cannot be busy chasing men up and down, right? And it's sad to say that 2019 was an year that I picked the biggest L of the decade, you know, because I really had that pick me syndrome. Yeah. And it gets to the best of us as women. Yeah, because the pressures of society, you should be married by this age, why don't you have a husband, why don't you have children, blah blah blah. You tie your worth to having a man. Yeah, and when you do that, it is not even about the need for a man, but the need to quiet society. So you make all the wrong decisions, because once you make a decision out of desperation, in more chances than not, it will be detrimental at the end of it all. Yeah, so you have to be very, very careful. You do not need a man to be whole. You do not need a man to be your authentic self. Just be your authentic self. Embrace your feminine energy. Embrace sensuality. Be the best you. And I believe that he who is for you will find you. And even if he doesn't, so what? Yeah, there's so much more you can do for society. Yeah, so do not peg your worth on men, right? Because once you do that, then you lose yourself. You can lose yourself, just trying to prove that you're the best pick. Pick me, pick Misha. As some women call them, yeah? So for me, that's that, right? And another point that I wanted to talk about is if a woman chooses a man that is less than a sucker for her, then that is a risk that we should not be willing to take, because that is a very, very high risk. High risk, low reward, if you ask me. Because you see, the thing we forget is that we really, really run and believe in getting the ring and the wedding, that we forget about the quality of marriage. We should be striving for good quality marriages, not just a marriage, getting a man. No. It should be about getting a good quality man. And I believe for your marriage to be of good quality, at least from those ones that I've seen, yeah, the marriages that are happy, not just marriages that are there, not just marriages that have quote unquote worked. No, the happy marriages I've seen, in most cases, in all cases, if you ask me, the ones I know of, the man seems to be a quote unquote sucker for the woman. He literally adores his woman. He views the woman as a queen, and he cannot imagine disrespecting his woman. He cannot even imagine being in a space or in a place where his wife does not approve of, right? So if you see a man just aimlessly going to bars, clubs, picking women here, there, liking posts to do with, women in the nude, other women in the nude, and he's married, then you have to question, does he really even care about respecting the wife, holding her to a certain, level of, yeah? So you should pick someone who cannot even imagine disrespecting you. Even if they were to cheat on you, God forbid, because we are human and we make mistakes, they would be very, very remorseful. Yeah, and it would be a one-time thing. This is not a man who will go there and have a full-blown affair, because his conscience would not allow him to do this because of the love and respect he has for you, right? But most of us women, we just tend to take anyone, yeah? As long as a man has shown us interest, whatever that means, then you're the one who wants to even rush him along to marry you, right? And that's why we have so many marriages where there's infidelity left, right, and center. There's domestic violence where the woman is being beaten day and night. Yeah, and just all manner of disrespect, because this man does not see your worth, right? And one thing I say is that you cannot force anyone to see your worth. Yeah, it all starts with having value for yourself, seeing your own worth, and walking as if you know that you're worthy, right? Not allowing yourself to fall for just anything, Have values, have principle, and you should never, no matter what, settle for something that does not align with your values, with your principles, and with the worth that you have for yourself. You should never ever settle. You should have clear-cut rules. Yeah, treat this as a business, so to speak. If this and this and this is not being met, well, I cannot continue with this. Yeah, because I believe you have to always put yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, then think about your children. Yeah, because one thing I've had women say, and it saddens me, because it does not even make sense. Yeah, a woman will be in a bad marriage, maybe an abusive one, you know, emotionally abusive, spiritually, physically, any of that, you know, abuse. And one thing they'll say as to why they are there, they'll use the children as an excuse. Yeah, they say, I'm doing this for my children. But when you're choosing a partner, you do not even think of your children. You know, the first thing that should be in your mind as a woman is, when choosing a mate, you know, how will this be? How will this man be to my children? What does this mean to for my future children? You know, you can't just take some guy who's showing you some half-hearted love, whatever that is, you know, and say, you know, maybe I'll change him or whatever. No, no, no. You have to put you and your children, the children's needs first, by choosing a mate that will be there for your children. First, that will be there for you, love and respect you, you know, and be there for your children. Together, you'll there and raise beautiful children. But if at all you're in a situation where you're in an abusive marriage, you're already in the marriage and it's abusive and all this, do not use that as an excuse. I'm doing this for your children. Because one thing you don't know is that you're teaching these children, you know, if it's a girl, you're teaching the girl how to choose a mate. If all she sees is you being abused by her father and all that, she'll think that's right. Yeah, and when she chooses her husband, she'll more or less go for that kind of man, you know, the emotionally distant one, the abusive one and all that. And your son, you know, will learn how to treat women based on how your husband treats you. So it is very, very serious. It is paramount that you make the right choice. And if at all you're in an abusive marriage, just leave. You know, your children will come to thank you later. Yeah, because when you're good co-parents, yeah, when it's a healthy medium, then your children will definitely understand as they grow older, as they grow into adults. Then what else is there? What else is there? Yeah, so women, make sure that you make the right choice. Yeah, any man that is not there for you 101%, you know, a man who's not a sucker for you, it does not matter how handsome he is, how rich he is, you know, and he has swag and all this and all that. That does, how tall he is, you know, some very superficial things. That should not matter whatsoever. Yeah, choose a man that sees you as the queen you are. Ladies, you're queens. First of all, carry yourself as such. You know, let's improve on ourselves. Yeah, that is why it's good to even go to the gym, you know, to feel confident, to feel, you know, sexy, to feel all this, right? And learn a skill or two. Go back to school if you need to. Do your degree, do your masters, you know, chase the money, chase the bag, but most importantly, form a relationship with your creator, with your maker, right? So have a relationship with God if you're a Christian, to remind you who you are. What God does is he reminds you who you are. He reminds you of your worth, so that you do not stoop low. Let's not take any more L's in 2020, ladies. This is a new decade. Let's not be pick-me-shers. Pick me. No, 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 no. We're not doing all that. You know, just be a queen. You know, sit in your throne and let your king find you. If he won't find you, if he can't do the work that it takes to be with you, someone else will. You know, there are men out there who are in their masculine energy and they're ready to prove themselves. So please don't settle for less. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. I'll try to be a bit more consistent, and I'll see you next time. Adios.